all the books before us, the best of them has been recorded in the Quran. Actually believing in this one book is truly the definition of believing in all the previous books. And this is so important to understand. You know, we think that the Christians and the Jews, they also believe in the prophets. They also have Abraham, they also have Noah, they also have Moses, yes? Let me tell you, if you study Moses in the Bible, and you study Musa in the Quran, alayhi salam, it's like you're talking about two different people. If you study Ibrahim alayhi salam in the Quran, and you study Abraham in the Bible and the things they say about him in the Bible, you will not believe that that is Ibrahim alayhi salam they're talking about. And the most important things I've learned is, they don't know what a Rasul means. They don't know what that means. I was asking a rabbi, I was talking to him. I said, what do you believe about Abraham? What is the biggest lesson you learned from Abraham? And you know what the Muslims learn, right? إِذْ قَالَ لَهُ رَبُّهُ أَسْلِمْ قَالَ أَسْلَمْتُ لِرَبِّ الْعَالَمِينَ. That is what we learn from Ibrahim alayhi salam. How do you submit to Allah? And the rabbi tells me, a good friend of mine, he tells me, well, what we learn is that we have the right to argue with God. Say that again. Yeah, we learn to argue with God. From who? From Abraham. I was like, wait, hold on a second. What we learn from Abraham is that there are no arguments, you just submit. The one man who is the greatest example that you never argue with Allah, you just submit, is who? Ibrahim alayhi salam. And the rabbi tells me that Abraham inspired us to argue with God. He goes, well, you know, the idea is the older you get, the more mature you get, the more you have the right to what? Argue. When you're a child, you just trust your parents. When you get older, you can argue. I was like, okay, I have one question. Ibrahim alayhi, they believe that the one that was slaughtered was who? We believe it's Ismail, they believe it is Ishaq. So I asked him, when Abraham slaughtered Isaac, or he was trying to slaughter Isaac according to you, was he a young man or an old man? Abraham was an old man. I was like, so as he got older, he should be arguing with Allah even more, yeah? According to you. So when the angels are going to kill another nation, he argues. But according to you, when he's going to kill his own son, he doesn't argue? He should at least say, yeah, look, that's my son. Can you let me discount here a little bit? Can I just slap him instead of, you know? No. There's no negotiation. You know? فَلَمَّا أَسْلَمَا وَتَلَّهُ لِلْجَبِينِ. What are you talking about? He got older, but he increased in submission, not in negotiation. Oh, he goes, you make an interesting point. Now, I'm going to move along. We, the Muslims, are actually, one of our jobs in the world is to restore the integrity and the beauty of all the messengers and all the previous books. And you can only do that when you share the Quran with the entire world. The Jews don't know who Moses is, I tell you. They don't know who Abraham is. The Christians don't actually know who Jesus is. We know who he is, and we have to tell them. People think when you give da'wah to Islam, you have to tell people who Muhammad is sallallahu alayhi wasallam. I argue they will not appreciate Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam because they don't even appreciate their own prophets yet. The Quran has come to restore the dignity of their prophets. Listen to the next words carefully. لا نفرق بين أحد من رسله. We do not make any distinction between any of the messengers. We do not make any distinction. Who's speaking? We don't make any distinction between messengers. The speaker is us. He quoted us. We quote Allah. In this instance, Allah is quoting us. لا نفرق بين أحد من رسله. Subhanallah. Talk about the honor given to the Muslims in these ayat. It is mentioned in the Quran, and when it's mentioned in the Quran, it is mentioned because these parts of their legacy are timeless. Allah does not mention something in the Quran because it does not apply. Allah mentions something in the Quran because it will always apply. By the way, these messengers are so valuable that they were even valuable to Rasulullah himself sallallahu alaihi wasallam. By the way, by extension, how many people got upset because of Charlie Hebdo? Show of hands. How many people got upset because of the cartoon incident? How many people get upset because Jesus is made fun of? Because Moses is made fun of? There's no protests in the Muslim world because Jesus was made fun of. There's no protest because Moses was made fun of. There's no protest because Adam was made fun of. They draw naked pictures of Adam and Eve. No Muslim gets offended. Oh, that's just Christians. What? These are our messengers. They're not their messengers. لا نفرق بين أحد من رسله. We are supposed to stand for all the messengers, all the same. And when the Rasul ﷺ is going through difficult times, when Rasul ﷺ himself is having a difficult time, Allah gives him ayat about other prophets. So in his most difficult hour, Allah gives him the examples of Yusuf. Yeah? ما أنزلنا عليك القرآن لي تشقى هل أتاك حديث موسى. You're having trouble? Think about Musa. Finding comfort and finding guidance in these prophets is a sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. That is what we have to do. Now we're being quoted. We don't make any distinction between prophets. قالوا سمعنا وأطعنا وقالوا سمعنا وأطعنا. These people, they said, we hear and we what? We obey. Allah is so proud of people who believe. And then He says, here's what belief means. These people hear and they what? Obey.